G'day people, I'm Monster Dad and welcome back to our Space Engineers survival adventure. I think I'll start off with the episode. I'll just show you what I've been up to. I stuck a solar panel on this mining ship, not because I think I need it on Europa, but I also want to sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. I also want to use this to scout out asteroids, and the power on here probably about 15 hours fully charged batteries, but you never know. I may end up getting short on power. At least I can just park, face the sun, and recharge the batteries directly from the solar panel if I need to. So that's why that is on here. I'll show you all this setup in a second. Down here I took away that basic assembler and put a proper assembler in here because I needed to get some stuff produced, and it just wasn't. Oh, construction queue is finished. It just wasn't producing it fast enough, and stuck an extra basic refinery on there as well to help process, because I went over, I found some iron. Where is it? Over that way. No, yeah, 1.10 kilometers. Iron, cobalt and nickel deposit over there. So I went over in the ship and mined a bunch of iron ore out of there. So I think I'm pretty good for resources at the moment, just to get what I want done today. Started to put together some of the walls, put a door on this. I moved the med bay over to this end because I wanted to get out to this area here. So I put a little walkway, a little catwalk around here. I thought it looked quite nice with a big hole down there. Yeah, little observation platform. So I've put a halt to this at the moment because we've got to a stage where we're pretty stable with ice. So our O2 generators have stopped producing because the hydrogen engines are full of hydrogen gas, and our hydrogen tanks are also full, to capacity. So I've just put a halt to this. What I don't want is the storage to get full and I start wasting ice by drilling it and not being able to store it. So yeah, once we start kicking out more ice usage, I can move this along. I moved it along 2 meters and dug down again, so we've got a 2 meter wide hole here. So we've still got another 8 meters we can go out with that top piston, so we can come out to about here eventually. So a lot more ice to be gathered from there. I've probably gathered about 2 million so far. Used quite a lot of that, about 1.5 million altogether left. So yeah, we're doing good with ice. So that is working perfectly. I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, really pleased. So over here I started building the factory. There's going to be an entrance this side and an entrance over this side. So if you've watched any of my series before, you'll know how I tend to set these up. I tend to have a large cargo container as a goods in and a large cargo container as a goods out. So what I'll do is I'll come in with a mining ship or my grinding vessel if I've ground down other vessels. So come in with the goods, attach, connect to this, and this will be dragged through. And the reason it's dragged through is because there's a conveyor sorter attached to this side of this large container that will drag everything through the system. The ores will stop here in the refineries. I've got 3 refineries and I'll put some modules on these as well. This sorter will not allow ores to come past it, so this will drag out everything. And I've got 3 small containers here. They are connected through to 3 assemblers, and I'll put some modules on there. There's another sorter here, and this sorter will not allow components to come through. So all the components will sit, all the ores will sit in the refineries, all the components will sit, sorry, I beg your pardon, this one won't let ingots come through. So all the ingots made by the refinery are dragged through by this sorter, and they'll stay in these cargo containers here until the assemblers require them, and then they'll pull them through. but they won't go past here. And then this sorter will drag everything else through. So if I ground down a vessel and I've got loads of steel plate and other components, I dump it all into here, and these sorters will just pull it through the entire system into this one. And this is my kind of ready use store. Excuse me. And from here I can attach my welding vessel to here and just fill it with components as I need, and then go out and weld stuff up. So that's the way the system goes. It is expandable, but probably shouldn't need. 3 refineries with modules on should be perfectly fine. I could certainly add more assemblies if I needed to, but I don't think I will. If I find I'm having tons and tons of ingots ready to go, I can always add more storage here as well. So yeah, fairly straightforward system. The key to this system are the sorters and configuring those, but I'll do that on camera once we weld the whole thing together. So speaking of welding, what my intention is today is to build a utility vessel. Now this will be a welder and a grinder. Yeah, so let me grab a few components that I'm going to need to put it together, and we'll get started. I certainly don't need all of that steel plate. That should be the right stuff to put the frame of it together. I keep collecting tools from these unknown signals. I'll put them in the assemblers and take them apart, deconstruct them at some point, just to get the resources back from them. Otherwise they'll just sit there unused. Okay, so what do I need? What do I need? I don't need my drill in my hand, that's for sure. So what do we need? I need a cockpit. I'm going to use the new cockpit for this one. I'm going to power it with batteries, just like the mining ship. What else do I need on it? Initially, initially I'm going to put welders on this one. Now, what some people do is they put one welder, one grinder, and they can use it as one or the other. Other people put 2 grinders and make a separate welding ship with 2 welders on. What I'm going to do is just make the one ship. If I need a welding ship, a grinding ship, I'm just going to take the welders off and put grinders on and just swap them around as I need it. I think that kind of makes more sense. I need medium cargo containers. I also need the conveyor junction. And the conveyor frames. I'm also going to need hydrogen fuel tank as well, but we'll get to that in a moment. Hang on, let's take that off a moment. I need just a landing gear at the moment to help build this thing. Where am I going to build it? Oh, do you know what? This looks like a pretty good spot. So the way I build these vessels, I just drop down a small ship landing gear onto the ground like that. That acts as a base. Where was it? Conveyor frame on it there, wasn't it? So what I can do now is press the right button and just build a little frame here. Which way am I going to go out? I'll go out this way. Okay. Boom. Yeah, that should do. So let's get the cockpit on there, and I can build onto this, and it'll be perfectly secure. I do like these cockpits, the ones that have come from DLC. Is that the right way around? Yes, it is. And the DLC was only a few dollars. Really worth doing. Better than most DLCs that games push out that cost you a small fortune. What do I need? I want an O2 generator. Ba-boom. Now the weird thing about these cockpits is the connectors are there and there, and I think there's one small connector on the top as well. So when you put the O2 generator on it, it sticks up a bit, which I might actually could. One of the things you need to avoid with a utility ship is using the small ship conveyor connectors, because the small conveyor connectors can't push large items through, like for instance your large steel tubes. And if you're using it as a welding ship or a grinding ship, everything from the cargo containers, from the connector at the back, if you put a connector at the back, through to the cargo containers, through to the welders or grinders, have to be large cargo conveyor ports. Otherwise you can't get everything through. But I could actually put small conveyor ports on the back of this, because the only thing that's going to be fed into the cockpit will be O2. So I think I will do that actually. That way I can lower the whole thing. Otherwise the welders and grinders are going to stick up quite high here. Now what I am going to do
Energy low.
is go and get my energy sorted. Back in a moment. Okay, fully charged back. Alright, let's what I do, I want to connect that there, because I want to get rid of these two little blocks here. Cool beans. Okay, so let's let's get rid of the welders for now. I know I could go to my alternative hotbars, but I just can't be bothered flicking through those because I'm lazy. Alright, what am I looking for? I am looking for small conveyors. Do you know what? I'm going to put them as conveyor blocks, because I can use those as connectors for alternative places to put the hydrogen thrusters as well. So I'm just going to do that. Yeah, okay. So let's pop that on. Why are you unable to place it? Is it because that block's in the way? Go. Why aren't you going? Why won't you sit on there? There are two connectors there. Well, that's not right, is it? What on earth is going on? I think that block's in the way. That block can't be in the way. That block cannot possibly be in the way. Just in case. Get rid of it anyway. Now, why won't that connect to those two conveyor blocks? Isn't that weird? It'll connect to those two, but it won't connect to the two below. Let's put another one there and see what happens. Now it'll connect. You weirdo. You weird thing. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Do want a hydrogen tank on it. See, I want to make this as kind of compact as possible. That way you can get into the smaller spaces, such as, you know, inside here, to weld stuff. So ideally you do want these as compact as you possibly can. I'm just wondering whether I want a hydrogen tank on it. I probably don't, because the O2 generators should... Oh no, yeah, but then Yeah, I probably do. I'm going to have to put a conveyor block there. And I'm going to put a hydrogen tank there. God, that's pretty long, that is, for a welding ship. I most definitely do not want it any longer than that. That's for certain. Do you know what? The cockpit doesn't need O2 because it's unlikely I'm going to be in this for really long periods of time. So I don't really need to connect. I know there's a little bit of storage in the cockpit, but it's only small connectors, so it's useless with regards to what I need the ship for. So I don't think I'm going to bother connecting O2 to the cockpit or connecting the cockpit at all with regards to the conveyors. Now, what are we going to put on here? See, the problem with the medium cargo containers, they have the big ports, but only sideways like that. Not on all sides. Like the, you know, those large ships, small cargo pods. And I want 2 of these on here. Probably going to end up with 2 conveyor blocks, which is a bit of a shame because they're quite expensive. Now I want those 3 small ones pointing up and down because I can use those for the hydrogen thrusters. Right, let's get that on there. I know I'm going to do. Right, okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up with 3 of these on here. It's a bit of a shame, but can't be helped. That's really in the way. I need to join that down here. Now I can get rid of right. So I don't build these things very often because I quite often use the old build and nanobot build and repair mods. Right. So you don't really need a welder or a grinding ship. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So yeah, so you don't really need a welder or grind ship if you use that. So this is kind of a new thing for me. Is that on right? No, it isn't. Come on, get a grip, Monster Dad. Holy shamoly, Batman. It's just a ship. Right. That's got it. Okay, so that's my hydrogen tank. Let's get that out my hot bar. Okay, so what I want is the welders to come out here, and I want the small cargo containers to come out this way. So I'm going to pop the small cargo containers on now. Now, before anyone shouts, you can't join it like that. So it's joined by a small conveyor port to this hydrogen fuel tank. That's not a problem at the moment because the components won't feed through the hydrogen fuel tank system. The reason I've put those on now because I'm now going to put a conveyor frame there, and should now be able to put another conveyor port there, another frame in between those, and now that is now connected up to my cargo container. So I need a frame on there and a frame placed correctly on there, another conveyor block there, and now it's just a case of fitting the welders on at the right distance. So I'm going to start off with 2 frames. Just pop a welder on. There. Okay, joined up. Now I really want to weld up this cockpit so I can jump in and see what my view's like. What are grid displays, all sorts of stuff. Did it. Probably need some motors. Internal, got that. Small tubes, should be enough to put the cockpit together.
Energy low.
Okay. So, yeah, I think that probably looks about right actually.
Energy low.
Yeah, go and top up my energy again. So where did I put on? I put 2 frames on, didn't I? Come on, hurry up with the energy. Do you know what? I think they've nerfed the energy on your suit as well. I feel like your suit energy goes down way more rapidly than it ever did before. So I put 2 of those on, didn't I? Yeah, that's probably going to be about right. The welder on. Boom. Okay, now let's get that welder out my hot bar now. Okay, so we've got the medium cargo container feeds through to the 3 conveyor blocks that feed through to the welders. I need an O2 generator on the back of this. It should be fine. Let's grab that now. And that will need to go that way around. I'm just thinking where my connector is going to go. I don't want to put another conveyor block on it, that's the thing. See, the connector goes straight in the back of that, but I need the O2 generator somewhere. I guess I could put the O2 generator there. And then I could actually access it directly and feed ice into it as well, if I needed to. Yeah, let's pop that there. Oh, God, I keep misplacing everything. What on earth is going wrong with me? Let's make sure those ports are right around. Yep. So that can go there. I'm going to pop the batteries either side of the... Oh, do I want them either side? I don't want to cover those 3 small ports because I need those for my hydrogen thrust. Oh, do you know what? I could have popped the batteries in between those if I'd moved that out a touch more. Oh, I'm really tempted to do that. Then, yeah, the welders might be a bit too far apart then. Can they go on the bottom somewhere? Oh, do you know what? They could, couldn't they? Could tuck the batteries just under here. Does that work? Yeah, I think it does. Comes down a bit. But I think it'll be... Oh, mind you, I'm covering that port for the... Oh, no. No, if I... Yeah, the 3 ports are there. There. So, again, thrusters should be okay. I can't place that one because that annoying thing is in the way. Again, let's do it this way. Go on. There, now I can get rid of all this. There we go. Right, now I should be able to do it. So, battery, where was I placing the battery? There, because I want to be able to get to those 3 ports that are coming down from that conveyor block. Okay, so that's good there. Should be fine. Get the batteries out of my hotbar and the O2 generator, cargo containers. So I need a conveyor, a connector on the back here, which will fit nicely. Boom. So we've got everything. We've got the O2 generator, H2 tank, connector, 2 medium cargo containers, the 2 welders, 2 batteries, and it's still fairly compact apart from that bit sticking up there, but do you know what, I don't think there's much I can do about that. I mean, what I could have done is joined the O2 generator to the back of this, but it would have raised up 1, and then when I put the... So all of this would be up by 1, so the hydrogen tank would be up this high anyway, so no matter how I did it, it's still, the roof of the vessel still would have been that high. So whatevs. It gives me space. It means I've got space to put the hydrogen thrusters around. Yeah. Okay. Alright, well that's the bones of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut there. I'm going to put the hydrogen thrusters in place and I'm going to weld this up. And I'll get back to you. And we can test it out. Later. Welcome back. Right, I think I've got all the thrusters done. They're all connected. All burning. There's a very small amount of power in this. Yes.
Energy low.
Yeah, I know. Right, what I want to do is get it connected to the base as quickly as possible, he says. Yeah, I put a connector here for this very purpose. This is just a spare connector that I can pop something to if I need to, like a charging point, I guess you could consider it to be that. And let's get this bad boy over there and I can get these batteries charging. Oh, gyros. I always forget gyros. What an idiot. I'm also going to need an antenna. Okay, gyros. Where are we putting the gyros? Do you know what? That looks like a good spot. I just want 2 of them. Can't put them there for some reason. Or I need steel plate. Ugh. Steel plate, what else am I going to need? Probably some more of that. I'm going to need some of those. Grab some of that. Should have enough of everything else. He says, hopefully. Small motors. I'll try and do it before this thing falls out of the sky. I'm going to put 2 gyros on it. Let's get the antenna on. I haven't put any spotlights or anything on it yet. Okay, now we're moving. Let's get this thing plugged in. Oops. Connector, where are you, connector? Lock. Okay, good. Right. Oh, do you know what? Let's get the batteries on charge. I'll probably need to put the other generator on to get that going. I need to pop some more ice in there, so I'm going to empty my inventory. Pop on the other generator. They'll charge those batteries up fairly rapidly. Let's grab some more ice so he can fill his hydrogen tank. Boom. How is this hydrogen tank? Oh, half full. Okay. Cool beans. Battery should charge fairly quickly. Once you get to about half, yeah, I should be able to use it. Now, what I need to do now is transfer some components over to it, which I might as well do while it's sat there. So I'll get back to you when the batteries have charged a little bit, hydrogen's a bit fuller, and I'm going to transfer a load of components from my small cargo container there to this, and then once we've done that, just to end the episode, we will test this bad boy out and just weld a couple of things up. So I'll see you in a little while. Later. Welcome back. Okay, so sorry it's a bit dark. Yeah, I haven't put a spotlight on it, have I? Dope. So I've almost filled this right hand container. I've grouped all stuff in my hotbar down below, so we should be able to now. We've got about half power on the battery and should have enough hydrogen. We've got 73% hydrogen, 9 hours power. We're good to go. So let's give it a whirl. Yep, they're turning red, so they're working. So what should we do first? Let's do these. These are going to use up all my steel plate straight away. Yeah, much easier than going around by hand. Cool beans. I think I probably need a bit more thrust, braking thrust on the front. Doesn't feel like it's slowing down very fast. Good-o. Yay! It works! It works! Yeah, definitely need to adjust the thrust a little bit. I feel like it's a bit sluggish for moving, and these need to be pretty manoeuvrable through these little tight spaces. Yeah. So what I need to do now is queue up a ton more. I'll probably have to go and get some more. Well, I might not need more iron. I did get quite a lot of iron with the mining ship last time. Whoops. So may not need to go out and get that, but I need to queue up a ton of steel plate and other stuff so I can finish this. Why aren't you welding that? Oh, I'm out of interior plate already. Really? Yeah, I didn't think I'll be able to do much initially. I need to queue up a load of stuff. But yeah, good. Oh, that's why I ran out of interior plate, because I accidentally welded that thing. Good. Once I get all this lot welded and I've got this conveyor system working, I can at least dock this to this connector here, and I can just quickly transfer components that I need rather than ferry it across. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm really pleased. A few adjustments, like I said, need to be made, but apart from that, it's looking pretty good. Okay, I didn't quite end the episode there. I decided to finish this off, so I made a load of components that I was missing, duck them all in the welding ship, and went around and welded it. So let's jump out of that for a minute and I'll show you what I've done. So this one's goods in. I'll have to put an LCD sign on that one. So this sorter is just simply on drain all, so nothing will stay in there unless everything else is full and it's waiting to come through. So which means the refineries get all their ores. This one has all the ores blacklisted. Now I tend to go through and actually pick out the actual ores themselves rather than just using this. I don't trust it basically, because I'm not sure if it includes things like the old scrap metal and things like that. So none of the ores or none of the stuff that gets refined by the refineries come past this sorter. And then this one just has all the ingots blacklisted, so the ingots should remain in these containers here, and the assemblers will just draw them through when they need them. And then everything else will end up in this one, and then from this one I can then load my welding ship as I need to, whenever I need to. So at the moment what I've got is I've put a load of the stuff in this from that little area down there, so that's not producing anymore. So I'm just going to connect this up to the goods in, and hopefully we'll see it all work. He says hopefully. I am terrible at lining these things up, I really am. Boom. Okay, let's connect that. Let's turn everything else off, put it on recharge, jump out, and yep, that's emptied. So what we should see is this should be empty. Yep, the refineries should be refining the few ores I had left. Yep. Ingots should be safely into one of these. Looks like it's in the top one there. Cool beans. They're not producing anything at the moment. And then in here should be any components and stuff I sent through, which is just that at the moment. It works. So there we go. Now I have to go and empty the rest of this manually because the mining ship has small conveyor blocks, so I couldn't fit this big stuff in there. So yeah, I'll just do that. So yeah, so there's the factory setup. Cool beans. It works. Now what I'll do in between episodes is I'm going to take the mining ship out and I'm going to get a ton of iron, cobalt, nickel, silicon. What else we got? Magnesium, silver. I think there's some gold around there as well. So I did actually have like 8,000 silver, which I think should be producing now. So I'll be able to do my... yeah, there it is. I wish I'd spread this out evenly. That's the basic refinery. Boom. Oh, it has spread out evenly. Okay, yeah, no worries. Let's get the nickel done. Didn't I have some cobalt as well? Yeah, there it is. Do you know what? I could do the cobalt. We'll do the cobalt for the silver. Yeah, so I'm out of iron now, so I'm going to have to go and get a load. Now, I'll just destroy this bit here in between episodes. I'll probably put a couple of couple of grinders on the front of this and just get it that way. That way I can reuse all the resources immediately from the welding ship. There we go, just as the sun's coming up. The factory is complete. Apart from the building around it, of course, which I'll have to do, and the floor. I used half blocks on the floor to save iron, but still don't have enough. Yeah, so there you go. Hope you found that useful. I'll end the episode now, definitely. I'm Monster Dad, and I'll see you next time. Bye!